Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Liz. I'm a business coach for Black women and women of color. And in today's video, this first video of 2022, I want to do something a little bit different today. I think I said that in the last video, but this time I mean it. I want to talk about hustle culture in the coaching industry. So if you've been following my channel for a little bit now, you might have seen a few of my videos where I talk a little bit about hustle culture, I talk a little bit about social entrepreneurship, and I talk about how this idea of hustle culture in our 9-to-5s and in starting businesses can really be toxic, especially for Black women and women of color, because of the messages that we get from society on a constant basis telling us that we're not good enough, we need to work harder, capitalism telling all of us that we are just machines meant to just work and produce and just do, and how that permeates literally every aspect of our lives, right? So it affects our 9-to-5 lives, it affects how we start our businesses, and I want to talk about today about how I've also seen it heavily in the coaching industry. So I've been a coach now for I think about a year and a half and some change, like officially, like being a coach and offering one-on-one coaching, and I can see the steps. I can see how hustle culture, because of capitalism, because of white supremacy, how it has really just woven itself into the fabric of like what it means according to social media to be a good coach. So let's dive into that. The first issue that I'm seeing is the unrealistic expectations that are set for new coaches. When you first hear about the coaching industry online and from social media, you hear about all these magical 10K months, and you hear about how easy it is to just get all these high ticket clients, and it just seems like it's just an amazing, easy thing to do, right? Obviously wrong. Obviously, if you're building any type of business that is not a get-rich-quick scheme, it's going to take a little while to actually build it up from scratch, because that's literally what you're doing. Like, you are creating something from nothing. And if you've never done that before, if you've never made money before outside of a 9-to-5 job, then it's going to take a while to rewire your brain to get used to that and to get used to all of the millions of things you have to do as a new entrepreneur. So this idea of 10K months sets this extremely unrealistic expectation, right? And then what happens is that because the expectation has been set, when you get started with coaching, you measure yourself, you measure your progress and how good you are based off of achieving that ideal, not understanding that the people who are achieving these 10K months, like how they're actually doing it. Most coaches in the online space, if they're achieving these like 10K months or these other grand numbers in a very short amount of time, like say like 6 months to a year, oftentimes it's because they went viral on a social media platform, either YouTube or Instagram, something along those lines. And because they were able to take advantage of getting a huge audience over a short amount of time, they're then able to just sell to that huge audience and then start bringing in cash. They often will leave that part out of the story. Like when they're trying to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme, they're leaving out the parts about how they actually were able to get ahead so quickly and how you may not necessarily be able to copy those steps. So it's too late. The bar has been set. And so you are looking at this, you're looking at, okay, I just started with coaching. I want to quit my job tomorrow. And now I need to hit these 10K months. Like I got to do it quick. And if I'm not doing it in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 6 months like this other coach, then I'm doing something wrong. Like I'm not doing it right and I need help. And so because you're basing your progress off of these unrealistic expectations, you start doing unrealistic things to get there. You start doing more, working harder. You're trying to post to every social media platform under the sun, doing things that are completely not consistent, not sustainable whatsoever. You start doing sleazy, creepy things, like maybe you're getting into other people's DM messages and you're trying to sell them that way. Like, you're really starting to feel like because you aren't doing it right, that you need to figure out like how to do it. You need to just do more. The scarcity starts to creep in. That sense of lack starts to creep in, and that ends up fueling how you try to grow your coaching business. And it should not be this way. It's exactly how in the 9 to 5 space, where because we are taught to basically be perfect at our jobs, and even since school we've been taught this, you've been taught to just be perfect. If you're a woman of color, to be above perfection. Like, you're taught to do this in order to achieve success. And so you feel like if you just work harder, if you just do more, then you're going to be able to somehow get those extra sales, somehow be able to create these gigantic 10K months that you've heard so much about in the coaching space. You inevitably burn yourself out. You burn yourself out and you're unable to sustain this. You're unable to sustain any efforts that you have made. You most likely have not achieved any type of success, haven't gotten a single sale. And if you have, then you think, oh, I have to do all this work to just get this small amount of money. Like, it's just not worth it. And then you're even more defeated than before you started after working and dealing with your 9 to 5 job. So instead of running yourself ragged, thinking that you have to create brand spanking new content to social media and post it every single day, stick to unrealistic schedules in terms of creating long form content like YouTube videos or podcasts. Instead of doing all of that, trying to do more to achieve a sale, I want you to focus on small, sustainable action, like consistent action. And the easiest way to start making money in your coaching business is to just make an offer, to just say to someone, to say to the interwebs, hey, I have one-on-one coaching available, or I have this product or service available. Would you like to purchase it? It's cool. Here's why I think it's cool. There you go. And you can do that in less than 30 minutes. And if you can do that in less than 30 minutes, then seriously sit down with yourself and ask yourself, well, if I can do this in less than 30 minutes, how often can I do this per week? And there you go. That is your work week schedule. And that is how you build the foundational building blocks for your business. You start with something small, something sustainable that you can easily repeat over and over again. And then once that becomes second nature, once that becomes super easy, where you can do it without even thinking about it, then layer on top of it. I like to call this the pyramid of sustainability. I just thought of it the other day. I think it's pretty cool. The first layer of this pyramid is that sustainable short action, that action that you can do just like that you don't even think about. That is your foundation. That is your layer. When you're starting your business, this is the equivalent of you just having an open for business sign. Identify what that is for you. Like, what can you do easily? Is it just writing an Instagram post? Is it going live on your stories? This is where short form content will be extremely helpful. Then layer above that, the next layer. What's something that takes a little bit more effort, so therefore you will do a little less frequently, but will also serve your audience even deeper. Really tell them like how much you know about the subject that you're trying to help them with, and really show them, like expose to them your expertise. Like, what's that next layer? That's typically where long form content comes in, like YouTube videos, for instance, podcast episodes, longer IGTVs, like blog posts. It's the possibilities for what you can do for this are literally as endless as your imagination. But because it takes a little bit more effort, you do it a little bit less than what was at the bottom layer of the pyramid. Then the top layer of the pyramid. the top section, the things that you will do the least amount of because it takes the most amount of time and energy from you, that can be things like live trainings. That could be things like challenges for your communities. Like those are the things that take a little bit extra thought from you, but they provide high level of impact, a high touch point for your community. Pyramid of sustainability. If you can figure out what that looks like for you in 2022, it'll be a game changer for you and your business. Focus on that. Focus on service, and then the sales will come. The money will come. Don't focus on the arbitrary metrics that are used to get snatched up by an algorithm because it looks sexy. Ignore all of that nonsense. Most of it just happens by timing anyways, and if someone just decides to charge a huge price for their coaching services. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but just understand that there's always a story behind what people are saying. Like whatever success people are saying that they're having online, remember there's always a story behind it. And the people who are the most transparent about the story behind it, those are the people you want to follow and pay attention to. The ones who don't share the story behind it, who are not transparent at all about how they got their success, those are the people you want to be wary of. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at The Other Liz Walker, where there I'm providing even more helpful content and tips about how to make your first 1K in your coaching business with ease. Let me know if you have any questions about how to start a coaching business or how to grow it and start making your first dollars. Let me know in the comments below. And feel free to join my email list as well. The link to that is in the description box below too. And with 2022, if you are looking for more one-on-one help with building your coaching business, with making your first 1K or even your next 1K with ease, without the hustle culture, so you can really start building a beautiful foundation for your business, I have spots available in my one-on-one coaching program. So use the link below in the description box to book an interest call, and we'll see if it's a good fit. Take care.